Yeah.
Good afternoon. I'm Allison Kiger, Associate Director of the Bar Harbor Music Festival, here with Deborah Fortier and Antonio Galera. Debbie is in New York, Antonio is in Spain, and they're going to discuss his upcoming recital tomorrow, 8 p.m., back here on the Facebook page. Take it away, Debbie. Spain, and they're going to discuss his upcoming recital tomorrow, 8 p.m., back here on the Facebook page. Take it away, Debbie. Spain, and they're going to discuss his upcoming recital tomorrow, 8 p.m., back here on the Facebook page.
Thank you, Allison. Good day, Antonio. I say good day because it's probably around 5 o'clock in Spain.
It is.
The ocean, and it's only 11 o'clock in the morning here in New York City. So we're here to discuss your solo piano recital program, which will be at 8 p.m. tomorrow. That's Tuesday, July 14th. It'll be online as part of the 2020 54th season of the Bar Harbor Music Festival, as all our concerts and interviews and promos will be this summer because of the pandemic. I'm just thrilled that you are able to be with us, and I think welcome to our audiences out there watching and listening.
Thank you very much. It's a real pleasure to be with you all. The distance feels a little bit smaller. We should have been now in Bar Harbor all together, but it's nice that at least we have this and the music is still sounding.
Absolutely. And I am excited. I'm excited to talk with you today, and I'm even more excited to hear you tomorrow night. So, just to begin, I actually have a number of questions for you, Antonio, that I'm looking forward to asking you. But before I ask these specific questions, I'm wondering if you'd like to give us a little overview of your program tomorrow night and your feelings and any ideas you have you'd like to share.
It's a part of what the program was supposed to be for Bar Harbor. You know how the nature is so amazing there. So I tried to organize a recital on nature, and this short part of the recital I will do, it's connected very much to, it starts and ends with moonlight. It starts with Beethoven Moonlight Sonata. It ends with Debussy Clair de Lune, Moonlight. And then I will play also Ginastera, the three Argentinian dances. That it's a piece that I love, and it's also very related to nature.
That sounds wonderful. So my first question for you, Antonio, is if I'm correct, these are works from 3 different countries, right?
Mm-hmm.
Germany,
yes.
And Argentina and France. And excuse me, because I know this is kind of a big topic and a thesis for a doctorate or something, but if you can tell us in a few words, perhaps, as best as you can, how these compositions reflect the character of each country, Germany and Argentina and France.
I don't know if what I will say but it's my opinion. I think we're all citizens of the world. So I think they reflect, of course, culture makes a lot. In the case of the Argentinian dances, there's the characters appearing are typical from the Argentinian culture. In Debussy Clair de Lune, we could say that it has this finesse of the French music. Debussy Clair de Lune is based on a beautiful poem from Paul Verlaine, and I think I have it here, so maybe I can read it. It says, wait, let me find it. Yes. Clair de Lune says, your soul is a chosen landscape where charming masquerades and dancers are promenading, playing the lute and dancing and almost sad beneath their fantastic disguises. While singing in a minor key of victorious love and the pleasant life, they seem not to believe in their own happiness, and their song blends with the moonlight, with the sad and beautiful moonlight, which sets the birds in the trees dreaming and makes the fountains sob with ecstasy, the slender water streams among the marble statues. Sorry for my English, but I think it makes a little bit of an image of it. And then the Moonlight Sonata, it was not Beethoven who gave this name. It was an editor, and it was thinking of the first movement as the water of, I think, the Lake of Lucerne, and maybe it says something about the character of the country, but I think it just speaks about people and their dreams and the things they love and their feelings, and I think that's universal. So yes, maybe it has characteristics of each country, but it has something that we all humanity share, that is beauty and love and passion and feeling.
I love your answer because it is so different from how I envisioned you would answer. Because I was looking for the differences and what made one more French and one made one more Spanish. And here, you brought in the universality and the nature
And
images.
I think
I appreciate that immensely.
I think this period has been a period that I needed to feel that everybody's together in something. Yeah.
I can totally understand that. And so, and I'm sure you're asked this all the time, and here I go trying to divide us up.
No, 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 no.
No, but
Not at all. I wouldn't. I'm also surprised about my answer because I didn't know when. So I don't know what you were going to ask. So
well, we did not rehearse this, so here's another surprise.
yeah.
As a Spaniard, do you find that you have a special affinity to music of Argentina and for other Spanish music? And if so, can you pinpoint the qualities of these compositions that stir your Spanish soul?
Okay. Again, it's kind of, but I mean, Ginestero's Argentinian dances are so influenced by the French language too, and if I think of Spanish composers that I love, like Granados, for example, it has so much influence from Chopin or from Wagner or from Schumann. And if I think of Monpo that I love, it's also a lot of French influence and a lot of characteristics of their own. So I guess the best musicians are the ones that find inspiration everywhere. So that's
Thank you for that. Thank you. Um, so I personally am in love with Claire de Lune. I think it's one of the most beautiful pieces ever written, and I think that its popularity is not a surprise at all because it is such a gorgeous piece. And I was wondering if you felt the same way, and if so, what are some of the characteristics of this piece that make it so attractive?
I think this idea of time that is suspended, and that when it finishes the piece, you think that is so short, but also when it sounds, you think that it can sound forever, that it's that thing that creates this unique moment in that piece. And I think it attracts everybody, like people that don't know any classical music, they don't know the background of that piece. They just this is beautiful, and we don't know why. I mean, it's just, I think for me it's just time stops when that music starts sounding. Just the first chords are magic, and I'm playing that through a camera. It will be weird. I'll try to do my best and yeah, get the feelings out of the camera.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So my next question. When you first performed at the Bar Harbor Music Festival, Was it 2014? It was a good
Yeah,
6 years
yeah,
ago, I believe.
I think.
And you let it be known to a few of us, I think, that your magnificent Schubert B flat major sonata was a lifelong goal for you to learn this piece and to be able to perform it. And you did it. You did it, and you've done it numerous times, and it's just been a wonderful experience for anybody who's been lucky enough to hear you.
Thank you.
So congratulations on that. And now I would like to ask you, Antonio, do you care to share whatever other similar long-term pianistic goals you might have at this time? Or should we just wait patiently and watch you?
My goals from related to the Bar Harbor Music Festival, or
Well, you can
I
always
hope
wait
I
to
hope
the Bar Harbor Music Festival. I will
I
never
hope this
say no.
crisis ends. I hope this crisis ends and I come back next year and the year after and forever, because I miss it. I miss it so much, and I miss everybody there.
And we miss
I
you.
mean, yes, I mean, I do have also, that I have this small festival that I just started in my city that it's trying to give also credit to all the orchards outside our city, that we want them to be kept as they always were. So it's also very nature related, and we're struggling to know if we will be able to do it this year or not, or if not next year, and to see which kind of activities we can do around it. That's one of my main things now. And then performing everywhere I'm called. I guess now performances will have to be closer to my place, but as long as the music keeps sounding, I mean, I'm more than happy. And then there's obviously all the students that give me so much inspiration, like regularly, on a regular basis. So those are my main.
Those are lofty goals, and I want to know: is that a working orchard, Antonio?
Yes, it's orange trees mostly, and then they have a lot of vegetables, different vegetables, and persimmon also, and it's a beautiful property.
So, do you have music to support saving this orchard? Is that how your festival works, or
No,
is
I wish we could. We're just adding beauty to the beauty of it. I wish economy of music was so powerful.
well, we do what we
Not yet.
can. Is when would your festival be? And it
We
was
don't know yet. It's usually around San John. It's usually around the 20th of June. It couldn't happen this year at that time. Still, I mean, things are starting to open here, and we're starting to have some restaurants opening, but also opening and closing. Some parts of our country are being controlled. So the moment there's a little bit of problems, they control again and they close again. And then there's festivals starting to happen. And then depending on the place, they decide one thing or another. And it's not affecting us as much as it's affecting, I believe, the United States now. Now it's more controlled here, but at any time it can get out of control. So everything that we plan has to be a plan and and another plan and another plan and another plan, and then so we
yeah.
don't know.
Yes, we're aware of that because we have things coming up for the Bar Harbor Music Festival that we may have to cancel, unfortunately, including yeah. Besides our summer program.
Yeah, but let's hope that. I think if community, like acting as a community, is very important for this. It's something that I've seen, and it shocked me when I visited Bar Harbor for the first time. It shocked me so much what a small community, but what a united community they are. So that's harder to do in bigger cities because people tend to be more, this is generalizing, so it's always difficult to be absolutely right, but people tend to be more individualistic. So I think acting as a community is fundamental now, and because we're saving other people's lives if we act as we should. So I think to be my grandmother is called Prudence. Is it a word in English? That's her name. Prudence, Prudence,
Prudence.
Prudence. So I don't know if that word exists in English. In Spanish, prudencia is a very important word now at this time, and
Bar
that's
Harbor is
my
being,
grandmother's name.
well, Bar Harbor is being very prudent.
Yeah.
They're doing wonderful things in Bar Harbor to keep everybody safe.
Mm.
So I hope that it works. But as
So
unfortunately we know, it doesn't take many selfish people to mess things up for everybody. So
we'll save the hugs for later, even if I would love to hug everybody there. So I will wait until we can do it safe.
we'll have those eventually. We will.
Mm.
So I did notice that you started your program with the moon, and you ended it with the moon. And I just wanted to ask you to comment on that, which you already did. But that is your way of acknowledging nature and framing this beautiful program.
And also the fact that I will be performing it here. It will be, if as any Spaniard wants to join us, si los amigos españoles quieren unirse a nosotros y amigos de Europa, it will be 2 a.m. later on it will stay there. The program will stay there, so they can watch at any time, but it will be beautiful if they join us. I will stay awake, definitely.
By moonlight. Definitely.
Yes.
They should listen by moonlight. We want everybody to listen by moonlight. So well, I wasn't going to ask this question, but since we have a little more time, just did you want to comment on your it being the 250th year anniversary of the birth of the great Ludwig van Beethoven, who I personally think is like the Shakespeare of composition,
or the Goya. I've always thought of him as Francisco de Goya, and even the evolution of his language for me has so much to do with the evolution of the paintings of Goya.
Would you like to elucidate a little more about that?
Yeah.
Also that there has been one already, the Opus 31 number 3, performed by Christopher Johnson.
Yes.
And upcoming is the Appassionata. Not one of these 3 sonatas is one of Beethoven's great late sonatas, but here you are with Opus 27 number 2 in the middle.
Yeah.
You want to discuss, the evolution of these pieces or any
Yes,
aspect?
I mean the sonata I'm performing has this. Beethoven was a wonderful improvisator, and this sonata starts kind of like with an improvisation. So it was a sonata, almost a fantasy, or quasi una fantasia. And I really like how he mixes the fact of having a form, what we call a form, with also the idea of, you have the impression that everything is being improvised at the same time. So I think that's the magic in this piece, and how he's starting at the same time he is creating a form. He's making it evolve as something that is breaking. And I'm sorry I'm not performing any of the late sonatas. I'm working on recitals also with Opus 90, Opus 101, and Opus 110. I love those last sonatas. They're really one of the masterpieces. And I think this connection with Goya has to do with this. Both were deaf, and both kind of worked at the beginning for the established system, and they both found their own language and isolated themselves, maybe because of their illness, but and through that isolation there was a lot of incredible art that appeared too. So I really think there's a connection. I don't know why I feel that there is this connection.
Well, there's certainly more of a connection between Goya and Beethoven than perhaps Shakespeare.
I don't know. I don't know. There is. Think of the Tempest Sonata, for example.
Okay, well, you've got that. That's right. So I actually have run out of questions. So
Oh.
I will probably think of more, but I think unless you have some further comments to make about your performance tomorrow night or Bar Harbor, just perhaps you want to. Being from Spain, I have to ask you: is there any great difference in? Here I am dividing things up with audiences around the world, because you've traveled to South Africa and you've traveled to Korea, right? And
Never in Korea. In Taiwan, I've been in Taiwan, in Malaysia. Never in Korea. I wish one day.
Would you like to compare the audiences at all? Or audiences are universal?
I don't know if it depends on their country of origin on the places I've played. I don't know, and for sure in Bar Harbor, audiences they're so generous with us, with this standing ovations in the intermission, and they share a lot before and after. So you feel what we said before, you feel a part of the community when you perform for them. So, and also with all these activities that the Bar Harbor Music Festival have that integrate with all the kids program that you run, that is amazing, and all the programs with the libraries and with the house for the elder, I don't know how to say, the residences for old people, and all the other programs. And when we are there and we go and have dinner together with everybody, and they cook for everybody, and they cook for everybody that maybe cannot have a hot dish for that night. And I really like the feeling of community, and when I perform, I like to perform for a community. I like a lot that idea.
So I hope people in Bar Harbor are listening and feeling
I hope too, because I'm missing them so much. So, yes, yes. And, I think that's the main. That's what I will try to do. It's like just a gratitude program, a gratitude, and thank you very much for making this happen. Because I think thank you to Francis, to you, to Alison, that is running all this all this technological stuff and doing so much work, and being there. That is, she's the one that is being there, and that's great too. And I think everybody for working for the festival, you're really brave to be doing this in such a difficult situation, and thank you for always making me be a part of it. So thank you. That's the main thing.
Thank you so much, Antonio. Looking forward to tomorrow night. And
Me too. And please donate. Please donate. It's so important for this festival that you
I'm
can
glad you said that.
just give,
Thank
just give a little bit of what you can share with them, because they are doing wonderful things with this little money that you are donating them.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everybody for listening. And we will be back together before you know it. But meanwhile,
I hope.
Thank you,
I hope.
Allison. Thank you, Antonio. Thank you, everybody, for helping to make this work. We're gonna hang in there and then some. So we'll see you soon.
It was a pleasure to talk to you, Debbie.
Pleasure to talk to you, Antonio.
Bye-bye.
Bye.